here from the St. Johns County Public Library System, and because you enjoyed our last video so much where we cooked an old recipe, we decided to try it again. This one I did not try first by myself, so we're doing this together live, so to speak. We haven't made this one at all, so it's gonna be an adventure for everyone. We are making Good Housekeeping's Book of Menus fried bread. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I have the recipe up on our web event. It should be on this description, and I'll put a slide in to make sure you guys can still see it. And let's go ahead and get started.
All right. So this fried bread recipe is sort of like a French toast, but not quite. There's some steps that are a little bit different, but we'll work through that and I'll kind of go over what the differences are. So the first thing that our recipe says is we're gonna beat the eggs until light and then add our buttermilk and then melted shortening, soda, and salt. So we have our 2 eggs, so go ahead and crack our 2 eggs. And then for our recipe, we already have some pre-measured buttermilk. We just got a little container of it that's already got 2 servings of buttermilk in it. It's basically just 2 cups.
We forgot a trash bag.
There's trash over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the 2 cups of buttermilk to our 2 eggs. And then we are going to whisk this together.
Back.
I don't have a whisk, so I'm using a little fork.
That's fine. Being an old school recipe, this uses shortening or Crisco, which makes it that much healthier. I guess the only way to make it more unhealthy is to use lard.
So typically in French toast, you would use regular milk and eggs, I believe. I mean, at home, this is how I typically make it. And then you would add in your cinnamon into here and melted butter if you have it. But for this, we've got our eggs into buttermilk. And then now we are going to, once that's incorporated, we are going to add in a half a teaspoon of salt. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my pan warmed up a little bit. So we are going to melt a tablespoon of butter. Okay, totally out. Plop. Let that melt. Go ahead, and I have a little pie dish over here. You can use anything. You can use a cookie sheet, you can use a plate, you can use whatever. This is just going to be for our cinnamon sugar. So go ahead and just add some sugar to here.
How much?
About half a cup. Eyeball it.
We got half a cup right here.
All right.
That's a lot of sugar.
So the original way they did this is if your bread was super, super dry and old and not quite moldy yet, they would take the bread, boil some water, and then quickly dip the bread in the water to rehydrate it a little bit. We have fresh bread, so we're not gonna do that, and I don't particularly think that boiled bread is delicious. So we're gonna skip that step. All right. So go ahead and to our sugar, add some cinnamon.
How much?
Just sprinkle it on there. Measure with your heart. Add more.
Apparently my heart's not big.
That's good. Okay, so that's good for now. We're gonna mix that in a minute. All right. And our butter is melted. So we are just going to get that right in here to our buttermilk. Okay.
I feel like I'm helping, but I don't think I really am.
You're helping.
Stirring the cinnamon into the sugar.
All right, so.
Look at all this hard work. It's like I'm flinging sugar everywhere.
Oh, I need to add baking soda.
Okay, we got that.
Okay.
How much?
Now we're going to add baking soda. I need a teaspoon, please.
It says teaspoonful.
A teaspoonful. Sorry.
Where's my teaspoon?
Not a teaspoon shallow. But alright, get that in there. Yeah, it's good enough. Ooh, that's on high. We're gonna turn that down. Gonna turn that down to medium. We don't want it too hot. We don't want to burn our bread or burn our
How much of this?
fat.
What are we supposed to put in
You
there?
you ahead of me. Hang on. Alright.
She likes to boss me around.
I do. Alright, now with our, into our mixture, just a reminder, we have 2 eggs, 2 cups of buttermilk. It says melted shortening. In this case, we use a tablespoon of melted butter, a teaspoonful of baking soda, and half a teaspoonful of salt. And we just mix that together. I'm not going to mix it anymore because it's starting to get nice and whipped. Messy. Okay, so we have mixed thoroughly together. The next part of our recipe says cut half-inch slices of stale bread into small squares or rounds, and then quickly dip them in boiling water. We're omitting the step. You would drain them and then dip them into the sour milk mixture. So
We bought pre-sliced bread.
yes. And what we are going to do now is we are going to add our shortening to our pan and let that heat up. So
Do we know how much? We're doing this.
Measure with your heart.
Measuring enough to fry, right?
Yeah, let's start small and
We can always add more later.
half that.
Half that?
Half that. I have a feeling this is gonna be
Okay.
okay. Okay, we're gonna melt our shortening. Never used shortening for frying before. Look at our mess. Real people cooking.
If there's a mess to be made, I can make it.
See, I think that's good to start. It's kind of shallow, not too deep. I don't exactly want to like.
For those of you watching on Facebook, feel free to comment on our lack of experience with shortening here.
Clearly, I was not born in this. I'm just kidding. I was.
We missed that southern step of working with Crisco.
Yeah, I never learned how to use Crisco, so this is going to be different.
Parents failed us.
They did fail us. How do you know when it's ready?
I don't know. I know people fry chicken and stuff in it.
Which one was that in it? It says to
It says about 400 degrees, but we don't have the ability to tell that.
we're gonna eyeball it. It's starting to get warm, so if you want to see if something's ready to fry, typically if you had flour, you could take just a little pinch of flour and drop it in your oil. If it's bubbling, it's ready to fry. I just took a little piece of bread. Just see if it starts. Oh yeah, it's frying. Okay, look at that. Look at those bubbles. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get something ready to put our fried bread on. So he is just preparing a plate. In this case, we just have plastic plates. All right, so do you wanna do this part?
Yeah.
Okay,
What do I do?
so you're going to dip this entirely in this.
All right. I'm gonna move closer.
You're gonna make a mess. Okay, move forward.
Is that when is that going?
That goes on at the end.
Oh.
Get that in your buttermilk.
I didn't read the directions on the way.
Nope. And pull that out. It's fine. Yep, let it drain off a little bit. There you go. Pop it in.
Perhaps not that way.
Oh, this is interesting. Ooh, we got some popping action going on here.
There's no picture with this, so we have no idea how it's supposed to look.
I don't know about how long you cook it for either.
About 2 minutes or until golden brown on both sides.
Oh, that's golden. All right. I don't know if that's a good thing, but it's
This
doing
could
something.
end up being fancy toast.
We are making more of our fried bread.
Okay.
I've already got one piece over here that we just took out after about, it typically said 2 minutes per side. I went ahead and did about 3 or so, just a little bit longer. Now it's just sitting over here draining for a little bit. And then once it's cooled up just a teeny bit, we'll add some of our cinnamon sugar.
So do you sprinkle it on there, or do you dip it in the...
Do whatever your heart desires.
I'm like a toddler with sugar. I don't think that's a good idea. Do we have icing? I can really like...
Ooh, look at the dance.
So I'm gonna pat this bread, kind of speed up the process.
I'm just gonna go ahead and drizzle on some of that cinnamon sugar.
Is it both sides, or just the top side?
No. It doesn't say. It doesn't say one bit.
Oops. I hope you like cinnamon sugar. I'm just gonna...
There you go, just spread it around. Good enough. Now you don't have to use cinnamon sugar if you don't want. You can also use honey, maple syrup, or jam.
We got some frog jam that I would like to try.
What is frog jam?
I'll let you know. I don't know. It's got red raspberries, figs, orange juice, lemon juice, and ginger in it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I don't know why it's called frog jam though.
Mm.
I'm gonna go ahead and try this with just the cinnamon sugar on one side.
How is it?
I don't know yet.
You look perplexed. Okay, apparently not terrible.
It's kind of weird. It's not bad, but I don't know if I've had anything different. Like,
Well, there's no vanilla in it.
it has an interesting texture.
So, how do you describe that?
I don't know.
It is kind of buttery, which is interesting because we didn't add, well, oh, buttermilk. I'm tracking.
I think it would be better with jam or more cinnamon sugar.
You think it would be better if it was French toast with the vanilla and...
I don't know.
I think the vanilla helps kind of mask the eggy flavor.
I'm gonna try more though.
More deceasing needs to be done. I think I need to add more Crisco. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should preface, I really like food. Like really like food. So there's really nothing I won't eat.
I'm a little pickier.
I got too much Crisco on my hands. I can't open it.
You got too much Crisco on the jar. I can't open it.
That's what it looks like.
Need some bread with your jam?
I like jam. So judgmental.
So judgy. You don't even know if you like it yet.
I just go for it. I like that better.
I like that a lot better?
Yeah.
Oh. Uh-huh.
So our recommendation is you eat this with some sort of jam.
Uh-huh.
But there's all kinds of combinations you can try.
Mm.
Let us know what you try. Drop them in the comments. Give this video a like. If anyone has an old recipe out there they want us to attempt, we're more than happy to do so.
Keyword there being attempt. It
Yeah.
could turn out horrible.
Attempt. We are limited with some of the devices we have, so you know we don't have like a deep fryer for a big turkey or something. But other than that, we will catch y'all next time and have a great day. Bye.